What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. The place is in a little bit of a tip. And it has been for a couple of days. I'm halfway through doing the last video on the mill, which is basically getting the DRO scales installed and get all that lot working so I can start getting accurate with it. Everything works on it, I just need to get that installed. The only trouble is I keep breaking my drill bits. Trying to drill the bed on that is a nightmare. It's toughest stuff I've ever had to put a hole in, put it that way. So I've got some cobalt drills coming, so they should do the do, and we can get all that lot finished, but I can't do anything until they're here. So in the meanwhile, I'm carrying on with ASBO. All the spacing of it, the wheels and all that sort of stuff, and the swing arm and blah blah blah, that's all done. So I can have all this lot apart. I've got some top hat spacers, these jobbies, which I've made some alley ones to go in the swing arm pivot point. They need to be made out of steel. Reason being is, one, they were made out of steel to start off with for a reason. And I'm guessing that reason is because all the power that this bike produces obviously gets transferred back to the rear wheel. And that drives everything from the axle into that pivot point of the swing arm where it meets the frame and everything else. So putting a spacer in there that's alley, which is soft, ain't going to do the do, and it is going to wear out real quick. So I've got some steel. We're going to make some top hat spacers. I've got some needle roller bearings for the swing arm as well, so I can get all that lot in, and basically we can button it all back together again. What I want to do is, I'm hoping Jack's going to be around at the weekend as well, because then I can get the tyres thrown on. But I want to get these spacers done, get everything put back together. We'll have the new sprocket on there, put all the brakes on, new pads, bleed all that lot through and get the brakes and stuff working. And I'm also going to sort out something with those stupid footrests. They're rubber mounted. I don't know why you would rubber mount them, but I'm not having it because it feels like sitting on jelly, you know, having your feet on a bowl full of jelly. Let's stick this in chuck and turn it into one of them. Actually, not one of them. One of them. I'm going to strip the bike down first. Right, so these are the little top hat spacers that I made out of alley just for mock-up. Because, you know, served a purpose and that, proved a point. Easy enough to do. So that's the old steel one. They are both the same. Basically, I just need to turn that into one of them, which shouldn't be too hard, I don't think. Nah, that'll be all right. Right. I'll need that and that. So that's them done. 2 top out spacers made out of steel. There's the alley ones, covered in rusty schmoo. Don't need them anymore because I've got these. Look at that. Hopefully you can see. Rub the muck off. They look alright. Took them down to like the last couple of thou and just finished them off with some emery. Get a lovely finish on it. You're not even going to see it because it's buried. But he should just go in there all nice and snug. That'll be alright. Cool. In other news, remember a couple of weeks ago I went for that job interview at work in the model shop. Boss came to find me the other day and I've got the job. I don't know when I start. HR have been told to start all the paperwork and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to be a model shop technician. Basically, it's just making one-off stuff. So there will be cutting and grinding and welding and all that other sort of stuff. I will get to monkey about with the mill and the lathe that they've got in there, as well as loads of other bits and pieces too. You know, sheet metal benders and all that sort of stuff. So essentially, I'm going to be getting paid and taught how to be better at doing all this sort of stuff, which is going to help no end for doing the bikes. I'm loving that. Can't wait to get in there. Right, let's have those bearings out. We'll start putting all this lot together because I want it looking like a bike again. Right, and new bearings is in. That's the state of the old ones. They're properly knackered. They're nasty as. These ones all move nice. I've also done the dog bones ones as well. So my little top out spacers should go in there all nice and lovely. It does need a bloody good clean though. We can start putting the back end together. Awesome. Right, let's give it a quick spritz up. Although I don't really know why I'm bothering. Actually, I really don't know why I'm bothering. I don't care what it looks like, but I do a bit. am liking the chunky rear. Looks better with a bigger tyre on it as well, I think. Torsion bar ain't going to work for the brake though, because this doesn't clear my chunky new rubber. Look. It needs a bigger bend in it. I've got some plate on, and I've got some plate and some tube. So I'll drag out the tube bender, we'll bend a bit of tube up and just make another one. That's easy enough. There's quite a lot been going on. So CBR 600 RR rear shock is back in. 1200 Bandit swing arm with all new bearings and all that malarkey on a GSF 600 Bandit with a Triumph Daytona 955i complete front end, pretty much. Yeah, it's not quite standard anymore. Going forwards, as far as the foot pegs goes, I am going to firm it all up. So I'm having those little rubber jobbies out of the mounting points. I'll make up some spaces and just hoof them back on. Really, I want them back a bit further, but when I come to do the proper build, we'll just make our own rear set, so that'll be easy enough. I've been mucking about with handlebars. This is obviously the left down one. It needs to have a hole in it, because this switch gear has got like a little peg, and that locates in this hole, and I don't want to just be chopping it off and stuff, so for the sake of shoving a 4.5mm hole in, that's easy enough. Nothing is done up, as you can see. That'll basically stop everything moving about. As far as the reservoir goes, I'm probably just going to machine up a little jobby that sits on here with a thread in it, and the reservoir is just going to go like that. I'm just going to keep it dead simple. And, you know, it's the only other thing that really needs to go there, so happy days. I need to get the top of the yoke sorted, because obviously these forks is way too high. It all needs to go through the yokes. And I've also had an idea about what to do with instrumentation. Steve-O's, we're going to set it into the headlamp. I'm going to make a cluster, basically, because I want to see what it's going to look like. I can't decide which one I like better. So he's having the one in the headlamp. I'm going to have a separate one. I've got the stuff to do it. I just need to get on and get it done. But really, it's everything now is just machining bits. I need to machine the yoke so I can sort all that lot out and also decide where this little cluster is going to go and how that's going to mount. I need to machine the little jobby that's going to go on there to hold the reservoir. I need to machine the headlamp mounting brackets before I can shove that on. I need to machine this little jobby down the back here to keep the brake lines where it needs to be. A couple of little spaces on the calipers that I want to sort out, just because I want the disc to run absolutely dead nuts in the middle of the caliper, and at the minute it's about 1.5 mm off. I need to machine some axle plates, because like I say, these are just like arbitrary bits that I had around and shoved a hole in. They're too long, they need to be the right size, so that all needs doing. I need to machine stuff. I need Brian working. So from this point on, that's what I'm doing. I'm getting the DRO installed. I did make a start on it. I made a bit of a mess and I broke all my drills. So I've got some cobalt drills coming, and when they do, we're having at it. He's getting done and finished, so I can use him to finish off ASBO. There really ain't much. It might look it, but there really ain't. All the grungy stuff is done. So anyway, that's where I'll leave it today. Thank you ever so much for joining us. Hope you're staying well, and we will see you on the next one. Laters!